What's up guys, it's Miguel, bringing you another video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. And in Brexit news, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced that effective this evening, the 9th of September, he will be shutting down government as he previously stated he would. Whilst this controversial move was announced on the 28th of August, it has not been without its issues, as MPs have certainly caused a fuss. However, in order to properly understand what is going on exactly, I think it's necessary to take a look at what's happened in the last 2 weeks. On the 28th of August, Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that he would be shutting down the government, or he at least wanted to, in the run-up to the Queen's speech on the 14th of October, which would have meant MPs would have effectively not been able to vote or debate on topics of interest for 5 weeks. Reason being, this would have effectively prevented MPs from passing any legislation to prevent a no-deal Brexit, which is what people have been rumouring Boris Johnson would prefer to do. With this parliament shutdown ending little over 2 weeks before the official deadline for us to leave the EU, this has left many people very tense as the future looks very uncertain. However, Boris Johnson's time in office has proven to be very controversial, as he has seen everyone from Amanda Rudd, who was his former ex-work and pension secretary, with his little brother Joe Johnson quitting cabinet. This has proven a massive blow for Boris Johnson, as he cited the reason as being unresolvable tension within his family loyalty and the national interest. With former Tory MP Philip Lee defecting during a speech by Boris Johnson himself from the Tory party to the Liberal Democrats, this effectively left the government without a working majority. Having previously been 320 to the 319 is now in reverse, leaving them without the ability to necessarily push through bills or legislation that they require. However, going back to the first point where the government announced that despite all the things that I've mentioned and so much more, the government have chosen to continue with the shutdown of Parliament. So does this prove that Boris Johnson does not care about the discontent of his fellow peers? Or does he have some sort of master plan that we are yet to be privy to, and he hopes to be able to announce it on the 14th of October? During the Queen's speech? And in British Airways news, British Airways have announced that they will be cancelling almost 100% of their flights, which is massive because this will account for 800 flights and a total of 145 passengers being left stranded and without travel. In short, British Airways over the last few years have been going through a lot of hardship financially. However, staff and pilots alike had decided to take pay cuts voluntarily in order to allow the airline to continue to function. However, more recently, British Airways has been profiting in the billions, and staff and pilots are not impressed that they are not seeing any increase in pay, hence the dispute. However, the Civil Aviation Authority have said that all passengers that previously had travel arrangements with British Airways are legally allowed a replacement flight by British Airways as soon as possible, even if it does mean having that flight provided by alternative airlines. And in US news, I am glad to say that Rafael Nadal, yes, one of the tennis greats that we are still blessed to watch, has won his 19th Grand Slam and 4th US Open, marking history and leaving him just one Grand Slam title behind the other great that he has been contesting with throughout his whole career, Roger Federer. And in weather news, I have to be the bearer of bad news. While us Brits throughout the summer have enjoyed amazing weather, unfortunately this winter we could see as low as -14 degrees Celsius. With climate experts saying that signs show that another beast from the east could be heading our way soon, people should be braced for what could be seen as one of the coldest winters in recent years. And in funny news, the 21-day grueling cycling race that is the Vuelta a España has seen viewers get more than they bargained for. Why, you ask? Well, eagle-eyed viewers happen to spot some suspicious plants on the top of apartment blocks and happen to inform authorities. This investigation led to authorities confiscating 40 plants in total that, yes, in fact, were marijuana. And in KSI vs Logan Paul news, we have finally seen a breakthrough in talks. With the fight having been announced on the 9th of November at the Staples Centers in Los Angeles, both parties have announced that the fight will be taking place, but there are a few interesting points worth mentioning. Number 1. With the first fight having been an amateur fight and requiring bigger gloves as well as headgear, it can be confirmed that the next fight will be a pro fight, thus only requiring 10-ounce gloves and no headgear at all. Number 2. Unfortunately, this time, the fight will not feature any YouTubers on the undercards, but rather professional fighters. Number 3. This time round, instead of the fight being streamed on YouTube, the fight will be streamed through DAZN. And number 4. Whilst it hasn't been confirmed, the likelihood is these fights will be on pay-per-view as well on Sky. Whilst this is purely speculation at this point, it is likely with Eddie Hearn, yes, the promoter of Anthony Joshua and Billy Joe Saunders, being the promoter for this fight. However, whilst many people in the YouTube community have voiced their discontent with other YouTubers not being allowed to fight on the other cards, what can definitely be said is that KSI and Logan Paul have taken the right step into being taken more serious as fighters, as both individuals have intentions of going pro and now have shown a clear indication that this is serious and not just all hype. What I can say is we'll have a better idea come the 14th of September when tickets go on sale, just what we can expect from the fight in November. And that brings the video to an end, guys. So I hope you enjoyed some of the topics I covered. Some of them, yes, were in mainstream media, and other ones I just happened to come across and maybe thought they were a bit funny or interesting. So if you do have any suggestions for future videos, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Hit the subscribe button, let me know if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time.